Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, then you may know me as Destiny Kiara, and if you're new here, I'm Destiny Kiara, and I am thrilled to have you here. I hope you stick around. But today's video is just going to be a sit-down video for those of you that have been with me since 2018 and probably even before then. You may or may not have been wondering where I've been. I have been wondering where I've been. And so now's the time for me to get back onto YouTube, let y'all know where I've been, have a heart-to-heart, and yeah. I had anticipated making this video for a really long time. The past few months, I have been anticipating getting back into YouTube and creating videos again because it's something that I love doing. It's something that I had a lot of fun doing when I was doing it consistently, and I miss that. A lot has happened the past 3 years, and I just really needed to take that time away from YouTube and away from a lot of other social media platforms as well, so that I could get myself together and just really just really pour into myself. Surprise, I also have a cat. A lot has changed in the span of 3 years, and like I said, I just needed to take time away from all of the things so that I could really focus on myself, pour into myself, learn about myself, and be a better individual, be a better me. I believe that's what we're put on this earth to do, is to become better people every day, learn from our experiences, learn from our mistakes even, and show up in the world a more well-rounded version of who we were at one point. And that's what needed to happen for me. I started YouTube when I was pretty young. I was around 16 years old when I posted my first video, I believe. I started off making singing videos, and before I knew it, as I got older, I took an interest into makeup and beauty and fashion. I've always been interested in fashion, but I just took an interest in those things, and I figured, why not make content about those things? And YouTube quickly became something very expressive for me. It became an outlet. It became one of the biggest forms of self-expression in my life. However, with that being said, things were moving very, very quickly in my life at such a crucial and developmental time in my life. I was 18, 19 years old, posting consistently. I was always going out, and there was just never any time for myself. There was never any time for any real sort of reflection. And God and the universe works in mysterious but sometimes not so mysterious ways, because things happened in 2022 that would forever change the trajectory of the path that I'm on, rightfully so, and it was very, very necessary. So when I left YouTube, I experienced a severed relationship with a friend of mine that I cared about deeply, and this severed relationship hurt a lot. I had never experienced a friendship ending that hurt me in such a visceral way. When that relationship ended, it was my first time really dealing with and experiencing shame, guilt, grief, and depression. When that relationship ended, I was extremely depressed, and I didn't know what to do with myself, and I unplugged from essentially everything. My passions, my dreams. I unplugged from life. I experienced thoughts of self-harm very, very frequently. And I look back, or I think back on where I was then, and it was just a really, really dark place. I wasn't even considering picking up a camera during that time. So that relationship ends and I'm gutted. But on the flip side to that, I'm making some really large steps in my life. That year, I got my first apartment. I moved out by myself. I know you see me in the same old setting right now, but in the year of 2022, I had moved out and got my first apartment. If I have pictures, I'll put them somewhere. And that was an experience all its own. Not only did I move out, but shortly after that friendship ended, I got into another relationship, this time a romantic relationship. When my friendship ended, I was extremely depressed. And when I got into that romantic relationship, I was also depressed. At every opportunity that I had, I was trying to convince myself that things were okay and that everything was fine, when in reality, things were not fine. And things hadn't been fine for a while, but I wasn't used to not being in control of things that were happening to me. And I think that for the earlier portions of my adulthood, 18 through 21, those being the core years where I was on YouTube consistently and doing my thing and posting and just essentially being a boss. During that time, I felt so empowered. I felt so confident. I felt like, wow, I got my shit together. Like, I'm really doing something. The world is my oyster. And I felt like during that time, naively, I felt that I was in control of everything. And very quickly, life showed me that I am in control of very, very little. And I didn't know how to handle that. I did not know how to handle not being in control. Being in control has always offered me this sense of safety and security. If I'm in control, and if I know what's going to happen before it happens, or if I can predict what's going to happen before it happens, or if I can do XYZ with the intention of this person acting a certain way, and then they do act that certain way, then I've done right. I've done good. And things were happening that were far beyond my control. Some things were absolutely in my control, but some things weren't. And there were a lot of really difficult emotions that I had to confront and face head on these past 3 years. As I mentioned, dealing with shame, guilt, feelings of low self-worth, feeling like I'm not valuable, wounds from my past, from my childhood. All of these things, all of these experiences, these conditions that suddenly I was having to face all at once, all at the same time. And it was just a lot. It was a lot for me. I started using weed to cope with the feelings that I was experiencing. And I don't think that smoking weed is a bad thing, not at all. But the way that I had started using it was definitely to run from everything that I felt was too big to bear. And so for about 2.5 years of my life, I put my life on autopilot, smoking all the time, every day, several times a day, because I just couldn't. I couldn't deal with life. I couldn't deal with myself. It was so hard to deal with anything. And for that time in my life, I couldn't handle the things that did matter in hindsight to matter. I experienced a level of apathy that I hope to never fall back into. And it's only now, it's been almost a year since the last time I smoked weed, that I can say confidently that every single thing that I was running from, when I stopped smoking, I realized was just waiting for me to come and solve it this whole time. I'm not gonna cry. I did my makeup too cute today. But yeah, every single problem, every single trauma or wound, emotion that I felt was too hard to come to grips with at a certain time in my life, where I was constantly smoking to escape and get away from the things that were too hard to experience and feel at the time, were just waiting for me. They were waiting for me to come and solve them. And so I say all that to say that that is what the past 1.5 years has been for me. And I'm very, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna cry. And I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm very glad to be here. I'm very proud of myself. If I cry, it's okay. But I'm very proud of myself for getting to this point. It has not been an easy journey at all. Oh my gosh. I'm very proud of myself because the girl that I was 3 years ago is not the same woman that I am sitting in front of this camera right now. And I believe that in life, everyone has to go through painful experiences. I have had my share, and unfortunately, but fortunately, pain is what oftentimes brings people together. And I believe that I needed to go through everything that I went through. I needed to experience everything that I did so that, 1, I could become a better version of myself. 2, so that I may not make the same mistakes that I have in the past. And 3, to help and support anyone else out there that has experienced any of the things that I have. Over the past few years, as I said prior, beauty, fashion, and lifestyle content has been my thing since I started YouTube. And while I still love all of those things, I have realized over the span of the past year and a half that my mission is just a little bit bigger than that. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end this little chit chat video. I'm happy that I could just get on here and say where I've been and what I've been doing and be honest about where I've been. It has been a long road, and I'm not sure I ever thought I would pick up a camera again, but like I said, I love YouTube. This is something that I'm passionate about, and I'm just happy to be doing this again. I'm happy to make even more friends. And to those of you that have remained subscribed, even during my hiatus, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I hope you continue to stick around, and if you're new here, I hope you stick around as well for all the new content that will be coming. I look forward to it. If you have any ideas or recommendations for what you would want to see from me, feel free to comment down below, or you can reach out to me, DM me on my social media platform. It's not platforms anymore because I've gotten rid of a lot of my social media. I only have Instagram. And feel free to let me know what kind of content videos you would like to see on this channel. I am open and I would love to hear from you all. Now, I have an announcement. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I started off doing YouTube, making singing videos. Singing has been a love and joy of mine for as long as I can remember. And it is with great excitement, joy, and gratitude that I get to share with you all that I have put out my first single called Instructions Unclear, which is now available on all streaming platforms. This is just another big step that I have taken within the past year and a half, and I'm very, very happy about it. I also want to say thank you to everyone that was involved in me getting this project up off of the ground. It has been a long time coming, but here we are nonetheless. Anywhere you stream music, Spotify, YouTube, even Tidal, girl, Beyonce has my number. She checks up on me every now and then. Anywhere you stream music, you can go listen to my song Out Now. It's called Instructions Unclear. Just type in my name, Destiny Kiara, and you will see my song. Feel free to give it a listen. Let me know what you think. I look forward to putting out even more music in the future. But until then, this has been Destiny Kiara. I am so happy, grateful, and excited to be back. I am so excited for this new chapter with you all, as much as I am excited for this new chapter of my life in general. So I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.